Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are joined once again by LaTasha Henry, the founder of Empowerment Journey, hailing from West Olive, Michigan. She's helping so many, and really her company, Empowerment Journey, is all about giving you that safe place, right? A lot of us have mental angst, anxiety, depression, and she's offering a lot of coaching, especially those who suffered from a lot of childhood trauma. And really, we're going to discuss today, of course, some of the benefits of working with someone like this and how she can help empower you to be the best you can be. How does that sound?
Perfect. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you.
So
Tell us, yep, a little bit about yourself, please.
yeah, so I am a certified life coach. I specialize with trauma, different areas like that. I'm a mom, a wife, um, podcaster, and founder of Empowerment Journey and Empowering You. And yeah, I just want to touch base a little bit today on childhood trauma. That seems to be a lot of things I see my clients, trying to still work through. A lot of people don't realize how severe or how much childhood trauma really does affect you in your daily life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't allow yourself the time to heal, it's going to continue and it's going to get, signs are going to start coming through in different ways. And then you're not going to understand like why you're getting frustrated about certain things or, maybe why a certain
Yeah.
word upset you. I'm not sure, Jill, if you've experienced anything like that or maybe have witnessed it, but people don't realize, how talking to other people or responding to other people really sheds light sometimes on some things that has happened to you because you haven't been able to heal yet.
Absolutely. Look, I've had childhood trauma. I'm very open about it. I remember it. I'm very vocal about it. And I know that it has affected me in my adult life. If you don't mind me just sharing, I mean, I grew up in a house where I had two parents. They were married, but they should not have been married. It was constant fighting, anguish, chaos, blasting the radio so I didn't have to hear them fighting. My mother being the physical one, my dad being the verbal one, but I understand what drove her to be that way. Cops always there fighting at the guidance counselor's office, stressing out. But we got through it, unfortunately, and they never got divorced. And unfortunately, my mom passed away seven years ago now. And it's ironic how he's changed. At 74, he's like a different man. My sister's living with him, and he's actually nice now, which it's like so sad. We say, well, it took one to die for this to be over, but it's not over. I didn't trust men. I still don't trust men. I have a fear that I'm going to get hurt. I don't ever want to be talked to the way my dad talked to my mom, the verbal abuse and she, but she wasn't allowed to drive, wasn't allowed to have friends. And it was very severe, right? And then he had a drug problem on top of it all. So as a kid, you're trying to go to school, go to work, and it was just very difficult, right? So now fast forward, I'm 46 and I've had quite a few relationships. And ironically, I end up dating the same type of man, like the jealous type. And I feel like it's my father. How did this happen? I don't deal with jealous men. So long story short, that's why I made the decision to have my first child all by myself. I said I couldn't like it just I could do this. I'm like, I don't trust anyone. So I have my own issues, just so let you know you're not alone. You shared your story here. And I know a lot of people are out there listening and it's okay. We all have something, right?
Yes, thank you so much for opening up and sharing that, not just with me, but with your audience as well. I truly appreciate that, and I'm glad to see, you thriving and being strong, and being that voice that a lot of us need. So thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
so it's not easy. I am a single mom, still can't find Mr. Right, but I've actually just given up on. I'm not even looking for it. And because now I have my two little boys that I have that I'm happy with. And if that comes along one day, great, but I don't need it. I just thought growing up, like you needed a husband, you need to have a certain life. It has to be like this. And now you learn that part of it. And then you also put your defense mechanisms up. And then I really feel like I'm okay with it. I grasp what happened as a child and it's over and it's okay. But and I'm okay with it now. But people still say, well, you may have problems from it. And I'm like, you think? I don't have time to think about my problems. I got two kids to raise. So, but yeah.
yes, that is so true. And that's where, a lot of people had children younger, like I did, and then, later I had another one. But so now that they have more time to themselves, they're able to reflect and they're able to start feeling things differently. And they're able to actually set in what happened as a child. And so that's when they start like, emotions, like going through the emotions and different things like that. And so, that is a huge thing for people. And, being a single mom is very, very hard. And you just don't have time to sit and think about things, right? Like you're just
Yeah.
on the move, you're working, you are doing doctor's appointments, you are, doing sports, whatever it is that the kids are doing. So you're just very well consumed and busy with life and being that mom. And I know from my own personal experience, being a single mom, it was so rough for me because I never wanted my children to ever experience some of the things that I experienced.
Yeah.
So going to people's houses or allowing people to interact with my children or having them go to a daycare center, like just giving them or giving anyone a chance to be around my child without me was extremely hard. And so, I have had multiple conversations with my children when they were younger, you know, um, don't do this, don't let this happen, don't, like go through like the protective things. But I realized one day when I was at the doctor's with my child and the doctor, it was a female doctor and, she's trying to just like do her checkup as for school, so
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're right. But my daughter was like, no, I don't want you to touch me. Don't touch me. You're not my mom. You know what I mean? And so I realized then
Yeah.
my own issues that I was trying to deal with, I pushed off onto my kids to the point that I made them just afraid for anyone to touch them. You know what I mean? Like even for like a good reason, like a doctor, right? So that's when I was like, okay, I gotta pull it back some. And that sometimes is what it takes for people to realize that what they're doing is because of something that happened when they were younger and how it's filtering into their life daily now.
So true. Wow. And by the way, how old are your kids again? Remind me. I know
Yeah.
one's,
One is 20 in nursing school. And then I have one that is 19 who is a certified mechanic. And then I have a 6-year-old who just graduated kindergarten.
yay. Oh my gosh, you had graduation recently?
Yeah, yeah, he's so funny. Yeah.
Oh, they sing you the songs and stuff. We did that last year. My little guy is in first grade, so but I love the kindergarten graduation.
Yes. Yeah, it was so sad, and on a side note, it's weird for me because I went through that with my middle child, right? Thinking this is my last one, and I went through all those emotions and then now here I am doing it again. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Amazing. Oh, congratulations on that, by the way. I love it. Oh, nothing like the joy of a little child. As hard as it is to be a parent, that joy. Oh my God, I feel it for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is also, I mean, things that we
Now,
um go ahead, sweetie.
I'm sorry, no, have you protected your younger ones? Have they had any childhood trauma? I mean, we try right now because we've had childhood trauma.
Yeah.
How, how do you protect your own kids? I mean, we're all going to do something wrong, but like, have you
Mhm.
made a conscious effort, I'm assuming, right, to change things? Because the first time around, right, was when you had the older, that's when you were having some of those problems too, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, my older two, especially my daughter, she, both my kids were very close to me, but my daughter, unfortunately, would hear me in my moments of crying, right? Like, most of us moms, especially single moms, find the shower our like safe spot to like release or, to like let
And,
out those emotions.
and then you hear, Mom, Mom,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, I just
Yep.
wanted to, can't even shave my legs. I just wanted to make it back. Yes.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that is so true. And I have one that would just come in, and the other one would just sit outside the door and wait while talking, And I'm like, okay. So, my daughter unfortunately would see me in moments, that I was trying to always not have them see me in. And so I would share with her at an appropriate age, like some of the things that I went through and why I was so pushy on making sure don't let anyone, touch you. I don't care if they want to play a game and you never keep secrets from mommy. So she was more aware of my past. My middle one, he knows a little bit, but I haven't sat down and like shared everything because yes, he does need to know, but I feel like my daughter needed to know more, to be aware more, because it's not a safe world out there, right? Like just because someone is claiming to be a friend or a family member or, something like that, like that doesn't mean that they are safe. So, yeah, my baby, if you ask my children, they tell me I'm very lenient with him, but I'm still very, very protective of who gets to be around him. Like it's either I know you or I don't know you, and you got to be, you know, someone that I know, like full heartedly is not going to do anything, to my baby.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing for those that, haven't got to know you yet. And I know we are talking about childhood trauma. I just want to remind everyone who we're talking to and all forms of contact, and then we'll continue, okay?
Yes, thank you. So, again, my name is LaTasha Henry. I am a certified life coach, and I specialize, with trauma. And I am with Wealthy Woman Entrepreneurs Network. That's where my podcast will be. You can also find me on Empowering You 3, which is TikTok, and that's where the show right now is every Wednesday at 3. You can also go to my website, latashahenry.com. Don't space LaTasha and Henry. It's got to be together. And, schedule an appointment, set up a free consultation. We have a 6 to 8 week program that we offer. We also offer just one-on-one coaching for those that aren't really ready to do a program. So we got different things that we can assist you with, and
Yeah.
help you to live a happier, healthier life.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. So, what else did you want to address today about childhood trauma? Those out there who may not even realize they've have it, or they do, how do we work through it? What are some of the benefits to, getting over that and working with someone like yourself?
Yeah. So I know a lot of my clients have not shared their experience with anyone, not even like their husband or their children, So this is something that they have been living with their entire life. So being able to have that conversation with people, because you need to have a support team, right? And that's a lot of the reason why people don't talk, because they don't feel like they have a support team, or they don't feel like people will believe them, and they'll judge them and think less of them. So reaching out and just finding someone as me, um, to find that support, to give you that confidence to have that conversation, because no matter what, even if you don't realize, it is affecting your health, right? It is affecting your health. And I just want everyone to be a lot happier and healthier, and to know that they're loved. And, that's what we work through in the program. We have tools, different techniques that we go through. Just an example, this is one of my notebooks that my clients get, and we work through this, to build the confidence back up and to my clients, and teach them skills, and teach them how to deal with their anxiety, or, maybe having a panic attack because of what someone has said. So that way they can deal with things better. And again, having that conversation, just knowing that it is okay, and you are safe. And that's where Empowering You comes in, because so many people don't know that others are suffering from trauma, right? And they need a safe spot to share that. So they come on Empowering You, and they let their family members know that, hey, I'm going to be on this show, so watch here,
Yeah.
right? And it opens that door, like it opens it up, and it, starts that conversation. And then I'm there to help them with their family, work through, all of the feelings and all of that stuff. So just being able to realize that, the mental health stigma, and opening the conversation with it, because it's not like you're not worthy. You are loved, and you are cared for. And there is a place for you to go and share and get the support that you need.
Beautiful. I love hearing that. Thank you. Did you want to talk about some specifics, people that you've helped, some, stories, clients, or what else did you have in mind? Just asking.
No, no, no. I mean, for
Don't
me,
want to.
yeah, sorry, Sudie.
Oh, I said, oh, don't want to interrupt. I'm just
Oh,
joking.
no. No, for me, just getting messages from people who watch the show, or know a friend who has been through my program, and they were inspired by that, or they were inspired by the transformation that they saw them, go through while being in my program, is very rewarding. And being that light and being that person that they feel safe enough to come to and talk to is, why I do this. Like, I just know that, I have a client who her husband didn't know. And so she came on my show to have that, but she was able to have a conversation with me like I was her best friend, and she was able to lay out all of everything that happened and then tell me why she didn't want to tell her husband, right? And so that was an experience that I'll never forget, but it was also, rewarding to know that she was able to finally be relieved of holding that secret, right? Like, some people who have childhood trauma are told that they can't tell anyone, it's a secret, that gets put into their head at a younger age, right? And, if you tell, no one's going to believe you or no one's going to like you, right? And so as a child and you grow up believing that, then that's just a secret that you keep dark hidden in you. So to be able to, be safe and feel safe enough for someone to finally release and want to get to a better place is just a really good thing to see. And I love watching the transformations take place with my clients.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And just to go through the process of it, how many days, how many months, what normally is like the commitment, for someone to change these patterns, to get over, these traumas.
Yeah. So, everyone is at a different spot in their journey. And I have my free consultation call because that is where we'll go over things and we will decide, okay, you were here at this spot and you're going to need, 6 weeks or you're going to need 8 weeks. And you're going to, the program is what's going to be more fitting for you. And then there's other ones who are still trying to accept, right? Accept that what they went through when they were younger does affect them, even if they're trying to like keep it and not let it affect them. In some way, it does. So we will just start with one-on-one coaching, 3 days a week and for an hour. So, and then once you start doing the coaching and you start opening up a little bit more and you start realizing, oh, that is true, I do that, or, then we'll move you into a program. And most of the time, my clients are able to finish the program within 8 to 9 weeks, depending on, again, where they are in their journey. And then most of them still want to do coaching. Like, they don't want to just like do the program and be done. They're like, can we still like talk? Like, I still need, that reinforcement. I still need this guidance to do this. And of course, but, depending on, again, how many times that they think they're going to need the reinforcement will depend. But I always make sure I tailor everything towards my client and their needs.
Beautiful. And, you've been doing this for how long now?
I have opened my business for about a year and doing coaching and different things because I used to work in public safety law enforcement. So I've been doing this kind of stuff for about 12 years.
Beautiful. And clearly you're passionate about this work that you're doing, and you're able to work with anyone all over, right? There's no restrictions in your state.
Correct. Yeah. I have made it so I can go worldwide. I didn't want to be just in one location because I realized that there is a need everywhere. And so that's why I also do my calls, even with clients that are close to me. I do them on Zoom. So that way, 2, 3 weeks down the road, we can go back and we can look at where they were and they can see how much they have grown, which is very rewarding for them to watch that happen.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. All right. And, we still have more time today to talk. And I love hearing, client experiences and, the work you're doing. And, has there ever been a time, a challenge, like a challenging case that you've had where it didn't work as quick as you thought, or, right? Because everybody's body, mind different, right? And how do you suggest, coaching? When do you realize, or when do people know whether they should be seeing a coach in a sense or a mental health professional? Can you just share that difference as well?
Yes, and thank you. That is a very good question. So as a coach, my job is to focus on moving you forward, right? So if you are at a spot and you're just struggling and you're like, I don't know why I'm struggling, or I don't know what's happening, or why am I feeling this way, right? So that is, as a coach, that is my job to help you move forward and get over obstacles and those kind of things, where a therapist, a psychiatrist, they focus on the past, right? So what they want to do is they want to take you from your past and bring you to the now.
Yep.
Okay, so they help you with all that. And if someone has not faced their past or hasn't grown to a certain spot in their past, I cannot help them, because they're not going to be able to move forward with me until they're able to deal with what happened to them when they were younger, or at a different age. So that is the biggest difference between having a certified life coach or having a therapist or a psychiatrist, is the focus of now and the focus of younger to get you to now.
Got it. Thank you for that.
Yes.
What other traumas are people dealing with, from childhood?
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of abuse, sexual abuse. There's a lot of watching your parents struggle, physically, domestic violence, that type of stuff. It's very interesting when I hear people say, well, I didn't really have any trauma, or I didn't have a hard life, but I'm not sure why doing things like this is hard for me, or I don't know why hearing this is, difficult. So when we are in a session and I'm trying to talk to them and, because I have them write down things that maybe triggers them, in the moment, so I can try to understand it better. So as I'm talking to them and we're working through it, it's very interesting to hear, well, yeah, my mom and my dad, had a lot of issues, but it didn't affect me. Like I was fine, I was going to school. It didn't do anything to me, right? But they don't realize that maybe because they constantly heard their dad screaming and putting down their mom and saying horrible things about the mom, how that affects them, with their own identity, with their own way of believing that they're confident and they're good, and they're one of those people that can be strong. So just working through that with people, for them to realize, maybe you felt in the time that that wasn't affecting you, but now you're hearing it and you're seeing it and you're dealing with it now, and you're realizing, oh, okay, that does make sense. So yeah, it's a lot of things that people finally realize along the way that they did actually, have a hard time with.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much. And, gosh, the joy that this brings, right, to you, helping someone, it's got to feel good. And speaking of feeling good, how are you feeling? I remember you have a knee injury from,
I
was that
did.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, I had knee surgery. And other than, me getting the strength to walk a lot, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. So thank you so much for asking.
Oh my goodness. Thank goodness. Any
Yeah.
plans for the weekend? What do you have going on?
No, so here, I'm struggling a little bit because my baby, for the first time, is going to be away from me, on vacation.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be 10 days. So it's a very long time, but he is with his grandma, and his aunts and uncles. So I know he's fine. It's just, that first time is rough.
oh my gosh, you poor thing. I get it. I get, I could, oh my God, the trauma. Oh, I wish you luck.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. So, it's good that he's gonna be out and, down in Oklahoma having fun. It's just, for me, that's a long time.
No, that is, but I think you'll get through it. You'll be okay. But thinking about it, oh my goodness. And thank
Yeah.
God for today for the FaceTimes and the social media, the apps and stuff like that.
Yeah, and when he was leaving, I was like, okay, like I'm going over everything with him and making sure he's packed everything. And he goes, he runs in and gets his book bag and he comes back out and he goes, hey, I'm going to take this because it has a picture of me and my teacher. And if I start missing her, I can just look at this picture. And I was like, yeah, that's right, buddy. I was like, but what about mommy? Like, what
Oh,
about me?
that's
And he was like,
oh,
oh, I can call you. Okay, yeah, you call mommy.
oh, that's adorable. Well, thank you so much. Best of luck with this, and thank you for being here. And if someone wants to reach out for that consult, would you mind sharing one more time how we do so?
Oh yeah, no. You can reach out through going to my website, LaTashaHenry.com, no space. Yeah, you can reach me at Wealthy Woman Entrepreneurs Network.
Yeah.
The show is Empowering You 3 right now, which is on TikTok. So you can follow me there or on Facebook, LaTasha Henry.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day and an even better weekend, Mom.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.